Hey, I set a fun little challenge for myself.
Someone's pranking me.
You know when you just know that something's gonna go wrong?
If you know me, you know that I consume so much book content on YouTube, on Book Talk, on Instagram. Because of that, I am very familiar with authors, tropes within a certain genre, and overall which books people tend to like and which books people tend to not like as much. I wanted to challenge that. I wanted to challenge my own biases. I know you all lean away from certain authors. I know who they are, but I ask this of you. Would you know though, if that author's work were right in front of you? I wanted to put myself to the test, and I challenge you to do the same. This is called the No Bias Challenge. Here's how this is gonna work. You're gonna pick a friend of honor and a couple other friends. These couple other friends, they're gonna come up with some book recommendations. They're not gonna tell you, they're gonna tell the friend of honor. Friend of honor is gonna go to the library, is gonna go to the bookstore, somewhere. They're gonna find these books, take the covers off, and you're gonna find a way to cover up the title and the author on every single page. Only friend of honor here will know what you're reading, and they're not allowed to tell you until the end. I personally had two friends and my brother pick out books that they wanted me to read and give those suggestions to my boyfriend, who then ended up finding those books for me, and hey, I read these 3 books without knowing what I was reading. Now, I picked the people who recommended books for me very carefully. Number 1, I had my friend named Michaela. Michaela is an author. I knew whatever Michaela recommended me to read, I would probably learn a lot from. Number 2, I picked my friend Bridget. Now, Bridget works in the entertainment industry, and she personally oversees what kind of content is going to be turned into something more than a book. She tends to gravitate towards fantasy books and romance books, but she also, as well as Michaela, has a lot of experience reading many different genres. Now, my third choice was my brother. I chose my brother because I have faith that he's going to recommend me something that I would never pick up myself. And I don't mean that I think he has bad taste. I just think my brother and I are very different human beings. I'm into art, he's into science, and so I wanted to pick up a book that I normally wouldn't. At the end of this video, I'm going to guess which book I read, what the average rating is on Goodreads, and who recommended it to me. Let the games begin. Hello! Welcome to day 1. I have no idea what book this is. I've read about 30-ish pages, and I have to say, one of the funniest things about this challenge so far is that I didn't know if I was walking into reading a fiction or a non-fiction book. I am almost adamant that this is fiction, and I also think I know who recommended it to me. I just have a feeling it was Bridget. I really like the story so far. It's about someone who's writing for a company like SNL, and she helps a singer-songwriter write a sketch. I'm just so excited. I'm excited for this challenge. So yeah, I'm just gonna read for the next hour, and we'll see if anything crazy happens in the book. Can I just say it's refreshing to read about a character in her 30s? I am gonna go for now, but I will update you in the morning. Hello! Welcome to day number 2. I definitely think this is a romantic comedy of some sorts. I'm just gonna get right into it, and if I have any absurd reactions, I'll continue recording so that you can see them. I'm annoyed. There's a trope in here that I really don't like. I never see it in fantasy romance. I only ever see it in contemporary romance. The main female protagonist keeps insulting herself over and over again. Someone who is attracting all of the male interest in the book, yet cannot fathom that someone would find her attractive. I'm wondering if this trope has a name. If it does, can you let me know in the comments? Good morning! I'm back in my spot trying to get comfortable, have my coffee, and I'm so excited because all of today I just get to read since it's my day off. Oh, this really is not comfortable. I'm about 100 pages away from finishing this book, and I'm gonna finish it today. I'm very, very excited to know what my thoughts are gonna be overall. Yeah, let's just get right into it. I am going to sit here until I finish the book.
You know when you just know that something's gonna go wrong? It's going too well. It's going too well right now. Something's definitely gonna go wrong. I just don't know when. Oh my god, what if this turns into a horror book? Because I don't know. It could. I'd be shocked. But I'd kind of love that. I just don't think there's 80 more pages of romance. Everything's going so well right now, and it's all so romantic and cute. How is this going to last for 80 pages? God, I wish I had a pool. I even like reading about people with pools.
I genuinely can't tell how I feel right now. One thing that I appreciate about this book is it's so realistic, it's almost cringeworthy in a lot of places. I think that the author, whoever it is very, very good at paying attention to details in uncomfortable moments. And on the one hand, I appreciate it so much because I rarely hear people talk about it or write about it. On the other hand, I don't know if I personally like reading about it. I think that just comes down to taste as a reader, because I love reading for an escape aspect. And when I read about mundane, uncomfortable things that I do deal with in my everyday life, I feel like I'm not getting that escape. Also, can I just add that this is the only book I've ever read that mentions the pandemic and takes place in 2020. So that in itself, you know, if you're not trying to think about that time, this might not be the book for you. I know this book is not written, well, I don't know, but I'm guessing this book is not written by Sally Rooney because the sentence structure is not like the books that I've read by Sally Rooney. But some of the cringeworthy moments do remind me of just how realistic the characters are in her books. So that's something to think about. Okay, I think I have 60 pages left. I think. I don't even know. Let me see. Yeah, like 60 pages left. So I'll see you at the end. Oh no. Oh, I know what the central point of conflict might be at the end. Stop. This is really hard to read. I'm so uncomfortable. I'm so uncomfortable because I don't enjoy reading from this character's perspective. Let me tell you, I think this author really knows what they're doing.
Okay.
I will say that I did expect the book to go in the direction that it ended up going, but there were little things that surprised me. I was happily surprised by the fact that the author was aware of what they were doing with the main character the whole time. Things that annoyed me about the main character in the beginning came to a head at the end and was acknowledged. I wasn't expecting that, and I really liked that. But I'll say more about the whole thing at the end of this video. I just got back from the beach and I'm gonna read for the rest of the night. So it is a couple days later. I thought that I was going to film more of myself reading the second book. However, the second book is just, it is so good. I'm 200 and something pages into this book, and I apologize since I was supposed to film my reactions to it, but it's just so binge-worthy. I know what it is. When I was reading the first page, it automatically said a word, and I know that word is a book. I'm kind of at the point in the book where I don't want to say I'm bored, it just feels like it's taking a long time for something to happen next. I have a couple thoughts that I wrote down for you though, so that I wouldn't forget them. And that's not it. And that's also not it. Yes, one thing that I thought was so interesting, and I'll tell you the premise of this book. Scythe is based around a society where they have eliminated natural death. In place of natural death, they now have to give that role to people, because otherwise the population will grow too big to support itself. Yeah, this is a really dark conversation. If you're not in the mood for it, maybe skip ahead. It's made me realize how much of a mercy it is for death to be random and a part of nature, because who wants to be in control of making decisions when people die versus when people live? I don't have this problem that much anymore because I'm at a point in the book that focuses less on death, but especially when I started it, I had to put the book down quite a lot. Just keep that in mind if you do want to read this book and you might be more of a sensitive person like me. Yeah, it does get a little dark. You need some breaks sometimes. I will check in sometime tomorrow or the next day and we'll see how much I'll have read then. Maybe I'll be done. I hope not, so I can record more of my reactions before I finish. Hi! I still have 100 so pages to go. I think I probably read 20-30 pages last night. That being said, I'm just gonna say that I'll finish tonight. Okay, here we go. I'm kind of annoyed at the direction that the end is taking. It feels like it came out of nowhere and isn't rooted in the story. What? I'm so annoyed. I am on the last 10 pages and I am actually going to finish it tonight. Who would have thought? That's for lighting, if you're wondering what that is in the background. What the heck? I'm so upset. I don't want to read this.
I feel sick.
Oh, I'm so upset. Oh, that's so upsetting. I have to collect some thoughts. I love the premise. I think it's really smart and creative and important. Sometimes it felt like in order to prioritize the plot, the author had to sacrifice character development, and sometimes it almost felt as though characters were making decisions that didn't make sense for how they were written. I think I rate that a 4. Hey! I think the last time that I filmed myself for this challenge was a couple weeks ago. So I finished Scythe, and still at this moment I have not started the 3rd book. So I will be starting the 3rd mystery book tonight, and I am excited about it. I am very excited to know what genre I'm going to be reading. It is about 7:30 right now, and I'm going to read for 2.5 hours. We'll see how far I get into this book. Cozy reading night. So yeah, welcome to reading book 3. Something I'm very nervous about. Look at this. I don't have high hopes for myself, still not knowing what this book is by the end. It is what it is. I'll try my best. I understand what kind of vibes I'm giving off right now, and I am not mad about it. What? Sorry. It's page 5. And it said, there's one in each arm, one in each leg, one in my gentleman's equipment. Does that mean what I think it does? What am I reading? Soon, I'm sitting on my butt tube. Not the most comfortable sensation, but when is a tube up your butt ever comfortable? I'm on page 6. Someone's pranking me. Someone is surely pranking me. I'm 130 pages in, and what I've come to learn is that basically there are these organisms that they found in space that suck the energy out of the sun, and that is affecting the food chain on Earth. It does sprinkle in a decent amount of humor, which I appreciate. It kind of reminds me of Percy Jackson in that sense. It takes on the same tone of, oh, the world is ending, like, haha, that's funny, right? I've never seen or read The Martian, but this might be The Martian. Although I think The Martian takes place on Mars. There's a tone there that kind of reminds me of what I've heard about that, though. So, we'll see. I'm really proud of myself. I still have not managed to look at the title. I just looked around my room for my book for a solid 2 minutes and then realized it's a pillow sheet. All right, here we go. I have no idea what's gonna happen because I've never read a book like this before. I know I'm in the same spot, I'm just dressed differently. I came home from work. I read about 100 more pages today. Can I just say, this book is so much cuter than I thought it was going to be. It's so wholesome. Just know that I am quite enjoying an interaction between two characters. I haven't read anything like this.
Like, the writer just must have been having a ball. Also, how did they think of this?
I'm so excited to be reading this. Something just happened and it's terrific. It's everything I needed, and I can't wait to keep reading this book. It's getting so much more wholesome than I ever expected. I love this. What's up? I'm back. It's 3 days later. I'm still reading the third book and hopefully finish the first challenge. I knew the author was gonna do that, and I'm still angry. I will not leave the spot until I finish this book. Oh my gosh! Alright, I only have 100 pages left, so most likely I will hold true to my promise and finish it tonight. Book number 1. I'm very confident that this is romance. It probably has something with writing, maybe comedy in the title. I could guess, but I don't think I know enough names in the romance genre. I think Bridget recommended this to me. I think that Goodreads probably has this rated as a 4-star. 4-star. Okay, let's see if I'm right. Romantic comedy by Curtis Sittenfeld. I don't feel bad about not knowing that because I actually didn't know that title name, but it does sound familiar now that I think about it. It was Bridget. It was Bridget. The second book is Scythe. The word Scythe was written on the first page. I think Michaela recommended this to me. And I think overall this series probably has a 4.5 stars. Yes! Okay, Michaela recommended this to me. I was right! Wow! I feel proud of myself for guessing that. Okay, and that leaves book number 3. I know it's not The Martian because I'm pretty sure The Martian takes place on Mars, but I don't have any other guesses. I think this could potentially be Red Rising. I'm pretty sure the amoebas that are in this are red. Did I just read Red Rising? My brother recommended it to me. Makes so much sense because, again, he's into science. What do I think people rated this overall on Goodreads? If it's not a 5-star, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to get 5 stars on Goodreads. I think 4.5. Project Hail Mary. I guess that makes sense. I just realized the project's name is Hail Mary, and our main character's last name is Grace. It's Hail Mary full of grace. Who did that? Who's the author? Who is that? Andy Weir, stop. You're pulling my leg. Wow. Wow, that was a thrill. Thank you for indulging me with this challenge. I hope you also read something without knowing what it is. I challenge you. I don't think you can do it. I don't know. I don't think you can do it. Thank you so much for watching. This has been such a fun challenge. I hope this inspired you to maybe pick up a book that you wouldn't have before. I really did enjoy reading all 3 of these books. I now know that I like sci-fi, and I didn't know that before. Have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you next week.